Hello, and welcome to Pimpin Positivity podcast, where we are going to motivate, empower, and inspire you. My name is Alethea Crimmins, also known as Miss HDIC. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this world. How are y'all doing? I hope that you had a great day on purpose, because I know I did. Oftentimes, people often ask me how I'm always so positive. And sometimes it's hard. Let me tell you something. Sometimes I do not get up feeling like this. Just the other day, actually yesterday, I woke up and I was not feeling it at all. I knew what I had to do, but my body was like, no, baby, today is not the day. I felt like my bed had me swallowed up. And I could not get out of it. Like, I didn't feel like being positive. I didn't feel like being motivating. I didn't feel like inspiring anybody. How could I when I didn't even want to inspire myself? I couldn't even motivate myself. But even though I didn't feel like getting up, something inside me told me, you know what? If you don't get up, if you don't show up, then what are you going to accomplish? How is that going to serve you by laying in this bed all day? By doing what? So I had to will myself to get up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up. So not only did I get up, I decided to show up. And sometimes that's hard. I know it's hard. It's hard for each of us. And there are times in our lives that we have some negative things going on around us. Baby, let me tell you something. Y'all think that I just find the positive in everything. I try to because people often try to remind us that we are not the person that we claim that we are. That actually happened to me yesterday. And I'll tell y'all about that just a little bit later. But somebody in the comments asked me, how do I stay so positive? And I'm going to talk about that. I stay so positive because I focus on my butts. I focus on my butt. I always try to find my butt. I know what y'all thinking. Your butt? Yes. Now, I can focus on this one, but the one I'm focusing on is something negative may have happened, and you end it with a positive. This may be going on in my life, but end it with a positive. And that's how you change that negative into a positive. Let me tell you something. I may not have the car that I want right now, but I'm able to get to my job and earn money so I can be able to get the vehicle that I want. It may be raining right now, but I know as soon as I get out that storm, my rainbow is going to come. That's how you remain positive. You have to find your butt. And people sometimes act like butt is a negative word. It's a negative thing. But if you think about it in that way, something negative may have happened, and end it with the positive. So you have to program your mind to find what that positive is. Program your mind to find what that positive is. Listen, I was sitting there watching this cartoon because as old as I am, you are never too old to watch cartoons. And I feel, okay? Well, I love me a good cartoon. Cartoon. I was sitting and these new aged cartoons, I really don't know what they're about because I don't really watch them. I don't know but I like the old ones, especially the old Disney ones. Cinderella was always one of my favorites just because I feel like I'm Cinderella because I always wanted to be a princess. Like, I feel like in my mind, I am a princess and I love a happy ending. But now, watching it right now, when I sat and I watched it, she is the epitome of finding her positive. She found her positive in every situation, and it worked out for her good because she let the moment be the moment. Oftentimes, we let our bad moments extend into our bad days rather than letting the moment be the moment and always finding the but in our situation. So listen. So I'm about to break this down for you and make you look at this fairy tale in a totally different way. Are you ready? So Cinderella's father was a lord. He was a duke. He was a lord. He was somebody important. He was already somebody important. He lived in a castle, in a mansion, in a huge house. So this was already established who she was. She already knew exactly who she was because she came from royalty. She came from a good stock. Okay? So when he married this woman and he died, this lady took everything, the house, the cars, the land, the money, it now all belonged to her. And she moved herself and her children into Cinderella's house. Not only did she move her and her children into the house, instead of inviting her to be part of them, she made Cinderella work for them. She made her work for them. But not once did you see her cry. Not once did you see her upset, because even though they made me work for them, I may be working for them, but I still have a roof over my head, but I'm still able to live in my father's house. It may not be in the way that I would like to, but I'm still here. I'm still here. And she was serving these people, because how many times we know that people do not like us, that people do not want us around, that people do not know our value, but yet we still tend to try to people please. Because it's just in our nature, especially women. We will try to please people, hoping that eventually they will start to see our worth. Eventually they will start to see our value. Eventually we can make them happy. But when people are not happy with themselves, honey, they will never be happy with you. It does not matter what you do, what you say, how you treat them. If they are not happy with themselves, then they will never be happy with you. And Cinderella waited on them hand and foot every single day. She could have said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I don't want to do it anymore, and I'm going to leave. But she stayed because she kept finding her butt. I may not have the beautiful gowns that they have, but I have clothes on my body. I may not have the best of the best, but I don't want for anything. She always finds the positive, and she appreciated what she had. Oftentimes, we don't appreciate what we have because we get distracted by the things that we don't have. Or we see what other people have and we want to have what they have. But we don't know what it took for them to get it. We don't know where that came from. But we need to appreciate what we have right now. I may not have the best, but I don't want for anything. I don't want for anything. And that's the kind of attitude that she had. And I love that about her. But this is where it gets better. This is where it gets better. So when it's time for the ball, Let's fast forward. Now, everybody and their mama wanted to be with the prince. Everybody and their mama wanted an invite to the ball. And he sent the invite out to everybody. It didn't matter who you were, he sent it out to everybody. Guess what? They did not extend the invitation to Cinderella. The mama and the stepsisters did not extend the invitation to her. You know why? Because when people know your value, when people know your worth, they will try to keep you down. They already knew who Cinderella was. They already knew the value that she had. They already knew her worth. They already knew how she was coming. So why would I? Why would I invite you? Why would I want you to show me up? How many times have people not invited you somewhere? Let me tell you something. In high school, I was never invited to anything. In college, I was hardly ever invited to anything. Let me tell you something. I was invited to one party. It was a frat party. It was me and my friend. And we went. And let me tell y'all something. I was always like this. Like I was always outspoken. I was always happy. I was always bubbly. Like this is just who I am. Like I can't change. Even if I try to, I can't. And God knows I try to. But it just comes out. So I was invited to this party. And I was just being me. Having a good time. I was talking to everybody. I was dancing. I was having a good time. Because that's just who I am. And it was just me. Just being me. And the person who I went with, my friend, she started to notice that people were gravitating to me. That people wanted to come and hang with me. They talked to her, but they were more engaged with me. And she started to notice that. Now me, I'm just being me. I'm not trying to get attention. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just being myself. Now, how many times has it happened to you? When you walk into a room and you just be yourself, people gravitate to you because of your personality. Like that's just who you are. You can't help it. You can't help it that you a diamond in the rough. Like you can't help it that you shine. It's who you are. And people gravitate to you. So that's what happened to me. So later on, like I can tell on the way home that the vibe had changed. She was kind of like standoffish and she wasn't really speaking to me. And I'm still just on a high because I was never that popular girl. Ever. Like I was always the nerd. I was always the weird one. I was always the one that would be cast out. So this felt good. This felt so good. And I'm wondering, like, did I do something wrong? What did I do? So I'm just like, so on the way home, it was really, really weird. And I noticed that it was kind of strange between us after that. Like I would speak, I'd be like, hey girl, and she kind of just brushed me off. You know, it was just weird. So the next time that they had an event, of course I wanted to go because I had a good time. So why not? But when I asked her, she was like, oh, they don't want you to come. They just want me to come. Like they didn't invite you. And this kept happening over and over again until fast forward years down the line, I happened to ask somebody, and when they saw me, they were like, "Oh, Thea, you are still the same bubbly person that you always were." And I was like, yeah, and I just wonder why I would never get invited anywhere. And they were like, "What? Well, your friend never told you that you can come?" No, because I was under the impression that y'all didn't want me there. So it wasn't them that didn't want me there, it was her. Because when I was there with her, I outshined her. People gravitated to me and not her, but that wasn't my fault. It's just who I am. I didn't try. It was just me. Oftentimes that happens to you. People don't invite you because they already know who you are. And they don't want you to upstage and outshine them. This is exactly what happened to my girl, Cinderella. They already knew who she was. They already knew how she was coming. So of course they did not want her there. But how many of you know that when something is meant for you, it is meant for you? And it don't matter how hard you try to stop it. It's meant for you. It's yours. And even then, even when they told her that she couldn't go, even when she's made her dress and everything, she took the scraps that she had. That's the part that got me. She took the scraps that she could find and she made her own gown. Baby, them sisters ripped that gown apart to make sure that she would not go. But I'm going to say it again. When something is meant for you, it's for you. That was the only time in the movie, if you notice, that Cinderella cried. That was the only time that she cried. Because she put her heart and soul into this. That was all that she had because she really wanted to go. That was the only time that she felt like she wasn't worth anything. That was the only time that she felt crushed. And then here comes her fairy godmother. that would be me. Just in case y'all were wondering, that would be me.
Who else?
I mean, who else would it be that would make you feel like you are everything and everything is you? That would be me. Because I know that sometimes y'all feel like y'all are not enough, that you don't know where your value is, that you second guess yourself. But baby, let me tell you something. I will come in and swoop in just like your fairy godmother and remind you of who you are. Remind you that you can do anything, that you can have anything, that you are not just enough, that you are more than enough. Let me be the fairy godmother in your life. And baby, when she came in, she said, baby, let me tell you something. You don't worry about them because I'm going to make sure that you are everything. I'm going to make sure that you are the showstopper that you are. And when you walk in there, all eyes are going to be on you. And baby, she bibbity-bobbity booed her into a bad bitch. Okay? Do you understand? And that is what I do. I bibbity-bobbity boo you into the bad bitch that you already know that you are. You know that you are a bad bitch. I'm just here to remind you of just how bad you are. And baby, let me tell you something. When Cinderella walks into that ball, baby, all heads turned. All eyes was on her. Even the prince himself was like, oh my God. She's your queen. Like he knew that right there, that's me. I'm not even worried about all these other women. I don't even see them. All I see is her. And she wasn't even worried about that man. She wasn't worried about that man. All she wanted to do was go to the ball. Baby, this man went and found her. And they laughed and kikied and ha-ha and just had a good old time. But then she remembered what time it was. And they told her that she only had till midnight. And then she would turn back in to who she was. This is my question to you. What if she would have stayed? What if she would have stayed? What do y'all think would have happened? So when she left a slipper because she was so ready to get out of there so that he could not see who she really was. How many times do we hide ourselves from people because we don't want them to see who we really are? Because we're scared that if they see who we really are, then they're not going to love us. They're not going to like us if they see the person that we really are. How many of you have been through the same situation? Okay, I'm seeing people in the comments say that she's still the same person. Yes, she's still the same person. She's still her. But she left behind a glass slipper. So now this prince is sprung. Baby, he is sprung. He is ready to go find this woman because this woman she has blown his mind. This is what I want you to understand. You do not know the impact that you have on people. You do not know the impact you have. You leave an impact on people, even when you think that you don't. Do you think that she thought that she left that type of impact on this man, that he would be going all over the kingdom trying to find out who this one slipper belongs to? That's the type of impact that she had on him, and she wasn't even trying. This is a message to somebody out here who needs to hear it. You ain't even got to try. You just being you. Everybody else in the room was trying so hard to get this man's attention. She wasn't even trying. She was just being herself. It wasn't the gown. It wasn't how her hair was done. It wasn't the makeup. It was who she was. It was who she was that had this man running around the entire kingdom to find the owner of one slipper. Now, do you understand that everybody in the kingdom wanted to be this girl? Everybody in the kingdom did not know who she was, but everybody in the kingdom wanted to be this girl. Do you know how many people want to be like you? Do you know how many people watch you and think, man, if I could just be more like that? But this is the thing. We don't even want to be us. Whew, Lord. We don't even want to be us. But there's people out there that wish that they could be more like us. They wish that we could have the courage to be more like us. We live out loud, and there's people that wish that they could because they cannot live out loud because somebody told them that they were too much. Somebody told them that they were extra. Somebody told them that they were too loud. Somebody told them what they couldn't be. Somebody had expectations of them. So instead of being who they are, they try to live up to these people's expectations. And they want to be themselves so bad. So now everybody in the kingdom wants to be this girl. Not realizing that the only reason that this prince was looking for this girl is because she was her. She was authentic. She was who she was. But this is the best part. This is the best part of the story. This is the best part. Baby, when they got to Cinderella's house. When they got to Cinderella's house. Listen. The very same people that put this girl down, the very same people that told her that she wasn't nothing was fighting to fit in this shoe. But baby, the shoe didn't fit them because the shoe was meant for her. It was only meant for her. And when something is meant for you, that's who it's meant for. But the same people that tried to put her down was trying to fit in her shoe. Baby, if that's not a message to somebody today. But the whole reason that she had her happily ever after is because she found her butt. Even though all these negative things was happening in my life, but I still know who I am. I value what I have. I value who I am. And she never lost who she was. In spite of everything that was going on, she stayed true to herself. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. Find your butt in everything you do. Something negative may be going on in your life, but end it with the positive. That's how you change your mindset. That's how you reprogram yourself. Find value in who you are. Find value in you. Live out loud. Because you never know who's watching. So as you go out there and be great in their face, remember it starts by being great in your own. So you remember that. Y'all keep being fabulous. Y'all come back and see me. Y'all please like and share. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my podcast. If you like what you're hearing and you want some more, because I know you do. And as always, love and light, and have a good day on purpose here. You're welcome. Not smile, because bitch, you're gorgeous.